Good morning, traders. This is Barry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 5 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, August 15th. So, looking back at yesterday's session, very narrow session once again. We did, start off at 577.5 on the Qs and just right up to almost 582, and then come back and just waffle between these two zones. Basically, from a little under 579 up to 581. The rest of the day just kind of went sideways. For the ES, just same thing. Started off at 542, which was the expected low of the day for the SPY. Come back up and just 545 half, and just stuck between there and 543 the rest of the day. Not a lot going on really. Um, Very just two-sided consolidating market. Uh, as we look at what that did to structure in the print that we had yesterday, we did come back down and hit that the bottom of the auction. No zero, absolutely zero interest below that auction, uh, and that's still what we can watch. Is so yesterday's lows will be in session lows will be important for seeing if we can get to a lower auction. Otherwise, we're just kind of meandering up here, buying time and taking distribution. As we look at where we are after having that pullback 2 weeks ago now, coming up and just kind of slowly drifting up. We still have I think we're getting there today, but resistance right now is still right around 6,600, and we have the call wall at 6,500, which on the cash market. And we'll get into that positioning here in a minute. But untested points of control, 64.62 from Monday, I think it was, and then 64.80 from yesterday. So, and we did miss that Monday point of control by one tick yesterday. So if I go back and look at that on the Bell low yesterday, the low of the day was 64.6275, which was one tick above that point of control. So again, you can watch that Bell low from yesterday on the ES as well. Acceptance below there should, I mean, it's not going to be huge, but it should get you down around 64.35 maybe. And then you just have to see what happens after that. But with it being OPEX, a lot of these times, it goes one of two ways. Either you get into a distribution and you get into a feedback loop cycle where they just kind of oscillate and drift around a pending level and maybe move from one pending level to another pending level, and that'll be about it. Uh, you can see in the distribution, you're really after that high on the 12th, uh, which was Tuesday, you're just kind of sitting here taking distribution up there in that upper end for the NASDAQ, while the ES is kind of still migrating a little bit higher. So slight divergence here on the dailies, but not enough to write home about at this point in time. We'll have to see if the NASDAQ follows through today and can get up to this 24,018 half or not, which would be the top side of the auction, by the way. And then looking at the other indexes, just not a lot. So below 23,800 for the NASDAQ is that next auction lower. And then for the ES, you'd have to get under uh, really 64.42, 40, right around there to get it into the lower auction. If we do have weakness today, this is probably has a good chance of being near the bottom when the ES hits it, so that the Nasdaq, as close as it came during the bell, could go through. And you can see the yesterday's low down here at 23,793 quarter. So you could take that low out and just trade this on the ES on weakness, and then we'd have to see. But so that should be around the bottom of the auction for us day traders. Then you just kind of sit on your hands and see what develops after that. And then the top of the auction still right around this 24,820 until you get out of that range. It's just kind of status quo. Um, looking at positioning for today, today is OPEX. So I didn't put a lot on the levels because it's these big gamma levels that go, and the 6,500, right? You can see there's a lot of gamma there right now and next week as well. And then for next week, you can see between 64.60, 64.75. There's a little bit of positioning in there, but 64.50 will be your next level down. And then above, you can see, right around 65.10, you got some, and then 65.20 to 65.30. Uh, and that should really be, it's going to be difficult to get outside of that today, I think. But for today, you know, maybe 70 to the upper side and 25 to 30 on the, you know, I'm sorry, on the lower side, 65 to 75, and on the upper side, 20 to 35. But really just, equal around this 6,500. Remember, the JPM collar is all, the short side of the calls is at 65.05 as well. So if you scroll down to the September 30th expiration, uh, you can see that that's where that JPM collar rests at 65.05. Um, Looking at the SPY, same thing. You can see next week there's a lot of development and action, but for today, and we're currently trading uh, 646 on the SPY, so right around in here, you can see, you know, 640, 650. That would be a 100-point range right in there, and we're kind of right in the middle of where that would be. And you can see for next week, 650 would be your upper end. So that would only be about, you know, 40, 38 points above where we're currently trading right now in the ES, and then you know Wicked 640 should be your floor for today, unless something really gets out of hand. And I did mean to get to the Qs here as well. So right now we're currently trading 580 is still the call wall, but you can see we got a little bit of positioning next week above there. But for today, not a lot. And we're currently trading very close to 580 as well. So, we could, drift backwards to 575. That would be about a 200-point drop here on the NQ. And then we, have to see what's going on. But, that should be what's considered your first, support that's major. And then you could drift today all the way back to 570. But we'll see if this 580 ends up being the wall or not. But we are closer to that. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the sheet, right where I sum up all these expirations, you can see that 580. But you can see there's some positioning is being built up above that as well. It's just that's your largest gamma on the call side right now. That's why it's the call wall, and your lowest gamma is at 550. Uh, so looking at that positioning again, we're sitting here right on that 580. Not a lot going on, so really I'm just watching to see if we get any progress on either side. So it's basically a little bit above uh, or below 580 with a potential to get sucked back towards it because it is such a large gamma for the day. If you can't get anything going on the VIX, and right now the VIX is just kind of still hugging around where those lows have been over this week. 1547 is the low, and we're only trading 1560 right now. So unless you really get something going, that's uh, you need to see that start lifting. And remember, the VIX doesn't roll until next Wednesday. It's not in the right cycle that it normally is for an OPEX week. Um, so I'll be watching that. But right now, we got a little bit again of that divergence with the ES being slightly stronger than the Nasdaq, but you can see that closing spike low yesterday kind of went back towards those levels in the ES, right? So I probably should have, that was last night at 8:30. You kind of, drifted down, and or I'm sorry, that was a newsprint yesterday at 8:30, uh, and then right back up again. So bottom of the auction, right, and then top of the auction. So we're kind of in the middle, really, of where this auction is, and that's probably OPEX. So I'm gonna probably just take a few trades between now and the euro close, at the most, and call it a week. I hope you guys have a great day, trade safe, and unless the VIX starts really doing something, which is you know fairly unlikely because it doesn't expire until next Wednesday. Uh, Look for volatility to be muted once again up here on these highs. We should get a pullback sometime between next, you know, late Tuesday to midday Thursday would be where you could get a steeper drop in price. Until then, probably any pullback is at least good for a mean reversion back to the next sell point. Um, I don't think we're going to get any one time framing like trending loop, feedback loop to the downside until that VIX roll next week. So don't get sucked in too much, even though we're sitting here at the call wall. Don't let that be your deterrent because there is positioning above there. Don't let that make you think that you need to just, really hold your shorts. I would keep to uh, 1 to 1.5 time cycles at the most on a trade. So basically, don't hold a trade more than 45 minutes for the most part today, or definitely tighten up your risk on that trade, even if it's gone your way. In those 45 minutes, I would only have runners after that and expect the runners not to pay off. I hope this helps you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday. See what Jack's looking at next.